tayo po ay nagbabalik dito sa Usapang Bayan at kasama pa rin ang mga kaibigan natin sa Transportify na si Paulo at saka si Noel. So just going back to what we were talking about, all of these wonderful business opportunities and things like that, where do you see your company going? Are you going to be expanding beyond the Metro Manila as a base, or what are your plans?
We actually service a big chunk of Luzon already. In fact, our service can, as long as there's a road, any point in Luzon we can service. But of course, we have our standard service area, which covers Metro Manila and some outskirt areas like Laguna and some parts of Cavite and even Angono.
So you're saying that there's nothing to prevent somebody from having a delivery to Lawag or something like that,
Yeah.
as
Correct.
long as they're willing to pay for the fee,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And a lot of transport companies do offer that from Manila to any point in Luzon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So you're something like that.
Yes.
And just to add a little color on how enhanced these capabilities are going to be, it just came out and we just announced that we raised a very big
Oh,
fundraising
tell us a little
round.
more about that.
So a few days ago, we closed an investment round, which is someone invested $14.5 million. So a group of organizations invested that money. Why? Because we've shown that this model works for both sides, businesses.
But maybe
and
before the BIR runs after you, you're not talking about somebody from the Philippines. It's from your other
parent
ASEAN.
companies.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So
Parent
So
company.
our
Parent
company
company.
is a Singapore company,
Singapore-based.
but our Transportify entity is local, and these investments are to our company in Singapore, and we're going to use that to fuel growth domestically because these are all investments. Our company will take a little bit more time para mag-break even kasi we're not yet there, but we're
We're
approaching.
working
uh,
very hard to get
so-
there.
So we're on track to achieve that in a short amount of time. Now we're going to use that to accelerate yung expansion namin. I mean, besides expanding to other Southeast Asian countries, expanding throughout the Philippines is one of the biggest opportunities we have, and that's what that capital is going to be used for.
We're very excited for it.
How do you plan to improve your business, sir, in the coming years?
Well, the thing that's good about, I guess, Transportify is that we're a group of young individuals who's always thinking about innovation, about things that we can do to help out not just the local market, but to think about what else can we do. I mean, we already have that type of service of delivery. We already have people that provide that service. What else can we do? So. I don't want to disclose a few things yet, but we have very exciting things lined up. In fact, the executive team will go for a short retreat very soon, just to talk about, hey, okay, we have all these money. What are we supposed to do with it? How much does
That's a nice problem to have. What to do with the money,
yeah,
right?
so,
Well-
but it's also like a pressure on us to improve our services, to innovate our app. Like if you look at our app, like we were talking about it earlier, that it's very different from the other apps that you may have seen. There's a little bit of similarity, but the entire user experience and feel is really different because it was really designed for transport of goods. So everything about that app, from sharing the location, from multiple drops, everything.
I can give one very, very concrete example. Something we just launched and we're definitely going to make better is called a fleet partner dashboard. Like some of our vehicles are owned by actually one person, and then he has a business and he uses his vehicles only once or twice
Yes.
a week, and he has three. But what he needs is to manage all three. So we have a partner dashboard wherein he can manage all three vehicles
Yes.
from his own computer, and then
And-
he'll manage his drivers, and then they'll be accepting bookings
So
on our
this will be
platform.
typical of people who have a surplus of vehicles.
Yes.
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 So,
And
let's
the
say-
orders would come in, right? The orders would come in. I'm sorry, and they would see the orders, and they can drag and drop and assign vehicles to the orders.
Let's say may printing business ako, and then on certain days, I don't have any business, and yet yung meron akong van, meron akong driver, and si driver is just
Nakaupo lang
nakaupo,
doon.
and yung van nakatenga lang. Instead, they can use that day to be
You can
profitable.
optimize the
Yes.
utilization.
Yes.
We've had some cases wherein from normal business, naging delivery business na
Yes,
lang sila.
correct.
Because
Or from
that was the better
Because
use.
we don't really encourage naman buying new vehicles because, of course, that's not really helpful. We started with just maximizing kung ano na yung nandyan. Like if you have a spare vehicle, like what Paulo was saying, na nakatambay lang, nakatenga lang dyan, right? But if we are to advertise like purchase of new vehicles, it would always be the more cost-effective ones, the one that you could utilize.
The bigger one.
Yeah, the one that you could utilize for deliveries really for this business.
And that's a good segue into the BAIC
yeah,
H5,
BAIC
right?
vehicles.
Because
Sulit na yung
it's
plug natin.
it is Euro 4 compliant,
Yes.
and that's something normally when people ask us to, hey, well, what vehicle should I get and all of this, we would say, hey, just for your general purposes, not just for Transportify, make sure you get something Euro 4 compliant.
And even with the
Yeah, maybe
client,
just to talk a little bit about that. A lot of our viewers are probably not aware that under the Clean Air Act, which has already been extended, the government requires that the LTO for first-time registration only registers Euro 4 emission standard compliant vehicles starting January 1st, 2018.
Yes.
No? So they must have either been pre-registered already or they're in the system already by January 1st, 2018. Go ahead.
no, because what's important about that is also our clients. Because again, we maintain a certain service level with them, and now that we've again servicing like big names, they're kind of particular with how the car looks, how the driver looks, and whenever we go to their warehouse, because they also service to their clients. So
They look professional.
yeah,
Hindi
I
pwedeng
mean,
jeepney.
if you look
ganyan.
at our,
No.
our drivers, you would see them in uniform. They'd have a cap, an ID, and we'd always send a reminder. It would always be, you should be in complete uniform, and any penalty, any violations of that uniform code gets reported.
When you
to
say
us.
uniform, you're talking about a Transportify
Yes.
uniform.
So they're wearing like a green
So
shirt.
that's part of the whole package, that they wear a Transportify shirt.
Not
things
on all occasions, but yes, for some customers that require a uniform, yes. We do equip some of our drivers that have performed well with we give them a gift, which is a shirt, and that also means that they've performed well, right? So when our customers say, hey, must have a polo shirt, they're saying that they have higher standards in terms of how they expect the drivers to look.
Is that similar to the shirt that we gave Rach?
No, that's
that's a
a,
different
that's a special shirt. That's a dry fit shirt. So you can use that for gym, running, or
Thank you,
sports.
sir.
Also, I
It's a
think
good
she would
shirt.
have preferred the driver's shirt.
Sir, I cannot drive nga eh. Ako matuto eh. Sir,
Operator ka.
Operator,
Yeah, you can
mas
be an
social.
Yeah, I
operator.
can.
You can be an operator.
Sir, since your business basically uses the roads and we know naman how chaotic the traffic problem is in the country, what can you suggest the government do to address this problem? Because of course, it maybe somehow affects your business.
You really want to go there?
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
I know. Like for me, it's just one because I'm a heavy driver. I'm not a transport, but I use my car every day. I drive around the metro, so I know the pain of being on the road for 2.5 hours. Sometimes the hours of, especially when I was a salesperson, a business development, I used to be able to meet clients like 4 clients a day. Sometimes if I stretch it, 5. Now, I'd be lucky to be able to meet 2. Just because of the traffic, it causes a lot of problem productivity-wise, and I don't have a driver. So, of course, when I'm stuck in traffic, I can't work on my phone or on my
Especially
laptop.
now, anti-distracted driving prevents
Exactly.
you from
So,
using your phone.
What happens is I usually put on my phone and I record notes. So while I'm driving, I do a voice recording, so I remember, I keep thinking and I remember what I'm supposed to do. But one thing that the government really needs to do is just fix the public transport.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, it's crazy that we bought all these new wagons for the MRT and
That doesn't
we're
fit.
not gonna be able to use it because it's too heavy. And it's what? It's our tax money.
There's a I guess we should, us being Transportify, it's ironic that whenever there's more traffic, we have more business. It's because people start needing us when there's traffic.
Yeah.
But as a personal opinion on what needs to be done, I mean, basically is invest in places outside of Metro Manila so that the economic activity is spread out,
Correct.
which I believe the government is trying to do already, and then continue investing in the infrastructure. Public transportation is one of them, and embrace a lot of the new innovation that's coming in. That's really important. There's a lot of new innovation.
They shouldn't be holding back all these innovations. They should be welcoming it.
Well, we're almost at the tail end of our program, and as you noted, time flies when you're having fun. But maybe you can talk to our audience and tell them that, you know, how to get in touch with you if they want to learn more about the business opportunities or becoming a Transportify entrepreneur.
Okay, for businesses, I mean, we've talked about a lot about helping small businesses grow and helping big enterprise clients with your deliveries. If you are interested to know more about how Transportify is going to be there for you, you can email business@transportify.com.ph, or you could simply visit our website at www.transportify.com.ph. And Paulo.
All right, for the partners, which are the driver partners, you can visit our website, and there's a live chat there which we respond to very, very well. You'll be able to contact our customer service through there, and there's a specific page we have in our website for application of driver partners. The one thing we're really, really hungry for right now is all the vans and the closed vans. We need those. We'll respond to you almost immediately once you apply, if you have one of those types of vehicles. We're also working on a partnership with BAIC, with George here, and if you can reach us through them once we get things going, and we're going to have traction pretty soon.
Yes. Rach, you want to ask one final question before we close?
One final question, sir. Where do you see Transportify in the next 5 years? A positive outcome.
Of course, but I'd probably be running another country with the entire team. But I of course, I want to be a household name. We want to be the best transport logistics provider in Southeast Asia using our technology. And I only see big things for the Philippines. Our economy is great. It doesn't stop us from growing tremendously. I mean, maybe by that time we'll be doing nationwide deliveries with long hauls and all that, or who knows, maybe airplanes or helicopters. I don't know.
Yeah, in 5 years, definitely our reach in terms of what services we can provide and where we can provide them would grow to an extent that we can only dream of right now. But we've had enough ammunition. We've mustered enough ammunition to be able to chase that. I mean, only 12 months ago, we were sitting in the floor of an unfinished office with dust.
Yes.
And now it's turned into only 12 months, a massive, formidable logistics operation in Manila.
From 5 people to now close to 80 people.
And 5,000 partners.
And 5,000 partners.
Let's claim success.
Yeah, it's solid. It's solid success because we really worked hard to make sure that we become very successful here, and we're still gonna push it. We're definitely not gonna stop.
Well, thank you for joining us this evening, Noel and Paulo. At yan po ang isang makabuluhang diskusyon kasama si Transportify Co-Country Directors Paulo Bengson at Co-Country Director Mr. Noel Abelardo.
Maaari niyo po kaming i-follow at i-like sa aming Facebook page, Usapang Bayan. Ako po si Rach Marquez.
At ako po si George Chua. Samahan niyo po kami muli dito sa mga susunod nating episodes dito sa Usapang Bayan.